Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Mark Flannery. I'm Sales and Technical Advisor with Liffey Mills. Today we are on the Moran Family farm located in Corrigan, Borrisokane, North County Tipperary. I'm joined here by the farm owners, Pádraig and Owen Moran. Lads, thanks a million for having us out here today and for hosting us. And just to give our viewers a little insight, Pádraig, I'll hand over to you just to tell us about the multiple enterprises running here in Corrigan.
Well, I suppose the main enterprise we have 70 suckler cows on the farm, and we finish everything to beef on the farm. So we finish the male calves as young bulls, and then we finish the heifers at around 20-24 minutes a day. We also buy in heifers for further finishing. We have another enterprise contract rearing on the farm, so we're in contract with a dairy farm. We bring in breeding heifers at year old, and we send them back to the farmer in the autumn in calf, hopefully all in calf as such. The other enterprise then we have is the sheep. So we have 220 ewes, spring lambing or early lambing really. And so again we finish all the lambs for finishing for slaughter as well. So all progeny born on the farm here are finished on the farm as well. You know.
Wow, okay. It's a busy place. It's a busy farm.
Yeah, it's busy and going to be very busy for the spring because the cows all calve in springtime as well. So from really the middle of January the ewes start lambing, and then from the end of January the cows will be combined with that. So anyone with spare time at night, there's always a job here for them.
Well, I suppose we're here today just to scratch the surface of your beef enterprise. As you said, all progeny born on farm are finished on farm. And I suppose just to give the viewers an insight into what you do and how you do it so consistently and so well year in, year out. I suppose to start, would you give us an insight into the weanlings and what it is ye anticipate or expect from these weanlings on their first winter here at Corrigan Farm, both males and females?
Yeah, well, I suppose we weigh the animals constantly. So it's the only monitor we have of actually targets of what we need from the animals as such. So we take it that the weanings from the males from birth up to weaning is putting on about roughly an average of 1.3 kilos a day. The heifers are about 1.2. So that would be the first test we'd have on them to see that the animal is performing. So it's critical that the animal is performing every day of its life while it's on the farm for us to achieve our targets. Over the winter then the animals are on silage plus concentrate, good concentrate feed, and so really we'd be expecting the animals, the weanings to be putting on over a kilo, up to a kilo anyway a day
per head
over the winter. From there then the heifers will go back out to grass in summertime, so they're summer graze. The bulls will stay inside, so they will stay on concentrate feed the whole way through for finishing under 16 months of age.
16 months, okay.
Yeah, so really at that stage the bulls will be, they'll be roughly getting about a kilo up to 2 kilos over the winter. We then raise it for the last 90 to 100 days. Those bulls will be risen up to a maximum of 14 kilos a day for finishing. So that's on the bull side. The heifers will be summer graze, and they will be finished back in the shed then for the autumn. So they will come in, and we'll be hoping the heifers will be performing outside as well. Our target is sort of a kilo a day. That's what
a kilo a day from birth to slaughter.
We'll average it out at about a kilo.
Kilo live weight gain on average from start to finish. So we're going into the finishing period. Talk to us about, we'll say, what is the TMR for a finishing bull or a heifer here at Corrigan?
Well, sure, the diet really of the bull is firstly silage is roughage. Okay. After that then it is concentrate feed, so you're talking about high energy. So it needs energy to get the animal to finish, the protein to make the animal grow. So we will be giving them high energy. We'll also be adding yeast to their diet as well. So that's to control their stomach, because they are taking in so much concentrate feed. We need to be able to keep their digestive system going.
Just to hone in on that a little bit more, live yeast and protected fats. I know from dealing with you guys for over a decade now, you're quite meticulous in the feeding regime. Ye are believers of these feed additives.
Without a doubt, because look, be it megalic or be it the live yeast, I think for the bulls is the only way we're going to get achieve the targets that we want from the bulls, because really we're asking the bull to finish at 16 months of age. So we have to get the fat score right, we have to get the fat colour right as well. So with that combination, it seems to be working for us.
And on percentage killouts, where do you find yourselves on average with your bulls and
the bulls, we certainly be over 60. We'd be disappointed if we're much under 60, to be honest with you. We need to get that sort of kill out on them. We're getting sort of weights, killouts of 420, up to, averaging 420 average weight, So, I mean, it is phenomenal for an animal that's under 16 months of age. So, it's just, I suppose, it's critical that that animal from birth to slaughter never has any setback, and that's really.
And the key in at Core even is to get that kilo average live weight gain from
over the lifetime of the animal.
Over the lifetime, yeah. Okay. Owen, we spoke with Pádraig about the phenomenal feed intakes that, especially the bulls, are on in the finishing period. Just to go back on that, the Levucell yeast that you use and the Megalac, like, I suppose pre-using it and since you've been using it, have you seen much of a difference?
We've seen serious difference in it since we started using it now. As Pádraig said, without the Levucell and the Megalac, we wouldn't be able to achieve the weights and the fat covers on the young stock. Especially the bulls under 16 months is serious pushing, so their stomachs, to be able to take in 14 kilos of concentrate and 4 or 5 kilos of silage.
It's a lot of stuff when you see it physically.
It's a lot of feed
in
to take in 24 hours, so you need to protect their stomachs.
And to do so quite comfortably.
To do so quite comfortably.
Okay.
You'd notice if they go up themselves, sometimes they would up themselves, and we'd be trying to go up the numbers without the Levucell. You wouldn't be able to achieve it. They'll go loose in their dung, and they won't be thriving. They won't be happy like.
Okay.
And happy cattle are thriving cattle. That's the main aim here.
Happy cattle give happy owners. And Owen, I suppose it's just like, we talked about concentrates, we talked about average daily weight gain. What you guys are doing here, you're doing consistent. You're doing it year in, year out, regardless of the weather, regardless of the prices, regardless of conditions. What emphasis, or if any, do you place on silage quality? And I suppose that's for both your cows, your heifers, your bulls, weaning. What do you insist on, or what do you try to make?
Well, what we try and do is we'll make first cut silage here. We aim to get that somewhere around 65% DMD plus, and we head for the cows with that, the suckler cows. They don't need that great quality, they just need to be maintained for the...
So we're saying 65 DMD is a maintenance, a maintenance feed. Cows are in good order at this stage, it's
they
just
normally come in savage order after the summer. Continental cows are going to come in that bit better after the summer. So then for the fattening cattle and for the weanlings and the sheep, we aim for somewhere 70% DMD plus. For them, we want high quality so we can feed less. And as well as that, the higher quality, it'll go with the meal, and they will thrive way better with it.
And where to achieve this 70 DMD consistently, because you're churning out consistent results year on year, does that affect the cutting date? Do you have a particular cutting date in mind, or?
Well, we'd aim to be cutting after 6 weeks.
Okay.
For the good quality silage. We changed over to all bales here roughly 5 or 6 years ago. For the main reason of that was we're able to, with more control of the silage. So we can cut it today, if we thought we got 3 days, 2 days coming, we can cut it today, ted it out today, and try and get a small wilt on it. So
you're self-sufficient here at Core even, all apart from the actual baler, you're self-sufficient. So it's interesting, you've moved completely to bales here.
Completely to bales, just for the control of it more than anything. Both control letting up the silage and cutting the silage. We can lay it up at different times and we can cut it at different times. It's just a big help for when it comes to silage quality.
Very good, very good. Okay, so Owen, just to move outside the farm gate here at Core even, and I suppose just to get your views on the beef and the suckler thing in general. Like, beef prices have been under severe pressure for the last couple of years. We're well aware of it. We've Brexit to contend with. Sucklers seem to be a victim of the current climate change debate. Like, are you confident that there is a future for a viable suckler herd in Ireland going forward?
Yeah, we've been very confident here in Corrigan Farm with the viability of sucklers going forward. The suckler herd has always been the image of the Irish beef, and we'd be hoping that it stay being the image of the Irish beef, and that it will remain viable going forward.
Okay, so Pádraig, when we are on the subject of the viability and future of the sucklers here in Ireland, I know the sucklers play a very, very close place in your heart here at Corrigan. Are you confident of the future?
To answer your question, really, Mark, I suppose I've been listening for the last 25 years that the suckler is disappearing, and we're still here at sucklers, and hope to be for a long time. I think the suckler cow has a major part to play in Irish agriculture. It's an important industry. Beef is our most important industry going over Ireland. There's still a huge demand for suckler beef across Europe. You can listen to factories saying there isn't, but they're still saying for us to stay with sucklers. I think the conversion rate that you get from the suckler beef is so unique compared to from the dairy beef. And I'm not having a go at dairy beef, but I think it is, its image is completely right. That the cow is reared in its calf naturally outside for the year, and it's on grass all of its life.
Yes.
And I suppose if we're trying to market our beef as a grass-fed industry, I think the suckler cow is the real, a unique part of that. So I would be reasonably confident, and that it will continue.
Very good, very good. And guys, just before we wrap up here, Pádraig, you forgot to mention you have another alternative enterprise here at Corrigan Farm, which consists of a student education and an agritourism centre. Am I correct in saying that?
You are. I suppose, Mark, we're always looking for extra opportunities around here. We always, I suppose, some people would say think outside the box, but I would say think inside the box as such. So over the last 8 years, we have been bringing ag science students onto the farm here. And I suppose the main purpose is really, and I'm talking about 5th and leaving ag science.
Of second level students.
Students. So really to come here and we give them the full brief of what happens on this farm from the 1st of January through to December.
Okay.
And that really outlines to them what actually happens on the farm. They get to experience that. I would honestly say 70% of the students who get on the farm here is from non-farming background. So this would be the first experience to have.
Excellent. The first live experience they have on farm.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's even getting close to animals as such. And I suppose the real education that we want to do is to explain how we produce food here on the farm. The restrictions we have, we look after our animals very well, and we also want to explain to them where the food comes from. Because we have people in Ireland that actually doesn't know where their steak comes from, how it's produced, and it's the same with pork or anything like that. I suppose the second part of that then is we bring American tours onto the farm during the summer. And the idea again is that it's the only farm that those tours will actually visit in Ireland. So,
as part of a package tour, the tourists come to Corrigan.
These are seen as scholars. They're actually older generation people, maybe retired people who come from cities in America that have never been on a farm before. So they just want to sample what it's like to be on a farm. And I suppose the first thing they say to you is they actually love to come onto a family-run farm. Because this is disappearing in America, and it's going to disappear here unless the powers that be looks at this seriously. And they love the idea that Owen is here. I took this farm on from my uncle, and it's still on. So they love that idea. They're really intense on how we finish our animals, and the first question they'll always ask, do we use hormones? Because that's what they do. In America, they're still using hormones to produce beef. They just can't get over the texture, the flavour of the steak when they get it at their hotel. So the students come for 3.5 hours. The Americans come for 2 hours, and it usually runs to 3 hours. Okay. Because they get so involved in what's happening on the farm. The poor tour guide, I always feel sorry for them because they're always telling me to stop talking, and they're trying to get him back on the bus, and even when he's getting back on the bus, I still get time, but they're still coming back and asking questions about what we're doing on the farm. They just love the idea. To be honest, it gives me my second wind. When I see a bus coming in the lane here, it gives me my second wind. So look, I look forward to it. I miss it, at the minute because of COVID.
Because of COVID, of course.
I missed it, but please God, next year things will come back around again.
And hopefully 2021 will be.
We're all
will be
hoping
fine.
2021
Absolutely.
is going to be definitely.
And that more or less concludes our video today on the Moran Family Farm. A huge thanks to Pádraig and Owen for having us here today. We're very privileged. We hope you enjoy viewing it as much as we enjoyed making the video here today. And keep an eye out in the near future for our next video, which will be coming up in January on calf farming. Thank you.